Wings. Good morning. Happy garden. What's going on with the hair here?
Our founder, Robert Welch, said,
What's
education is our
hair's going wild. Hang on.
our only weapon. Go to jbs.org to learn more, including how you can get involved to work locally and impact nationally. Join us at jbs.org.
Increase fuel economy up to 7.9% with Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme. The solution to maximize your engine's performance and fuel economy. Whether you're driving a sports
All right.
car,
Happy Garden Meditation Day. Also Sunday, Lumpy Rug Day.
Deep clean. Don't settle for
Okay.
an average driving experience. Upgrade to Hot Shot Secret Gasoline Extreme and go further on each tank. Order now on Amazon or hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd. It is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Colfax. Currently 49 degrees where you're at right now, looking for a high today of 72 degrees. Heads up, if you're heading up to Colfax today, proceed with caution. There was an officer-involved shooting overnight in Colfax there, right around where all the gas stations are right there. So it looks like the officer is in stable condition. We'll continue to track that, but just a word of caution if you're heading up to Colfax right now. We did have an officer-involved shooting overnight. Deputies from, this is from X, aka Twitter, from the Placer County Sheriff's Twitter account here. Deputies were involved in a shooting tonight near the 500 block of South Auburn Street in Colfax. One deputy was shot as a result of the shooting. The deputy has been transported and is still in stable condition. The streets are still roped off right now. So just a heads up, if you're going up to Colfax and that area around there, around the 500 block of South Auburn Street in Colfax, just proceed with caution up there. Know that some of the streets are blocked off. All right, let's go over now to our Fox Business Report.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report. Apple shares are up 6%, though its quarter included softer iPhone sales. Apple's raising the dividend to pay shareholders and will buy back $110
All right.
billion.
This is the only time I use Twitter is to try and find news updates. I never really go on Twitter. But we are looking for Placer Sheriff update.
Stake in Apple is estimated at about $157 billion, which may be the most money ever made by an investor or firm from a single stock. Daimler Truck's earnings and revenue both top forecasts in the recent quarter, though its sales and production slowed. Wall Street reacts today to the monthly employment report for April. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jennifer Silva, invested in you.
Oh,
The elite want more control through digital currencies
Forgot
and
to-
a cashless society.
oh, well.
This is Stephen K. Bannon. I believe gold is the answer to safeguard your wealth, especially if you own your
Doggone
gold
it.
inside
Oh, well.
a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting SHELTER.
That's one, Bannon.
9898.
You only get one.
Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit today.
That's what you think.
Not able to tune into AM 950 KI whenever you want? That's not fair. Have a strict boss that only listens to music and never local news? He's not very informed then, but you knew that. Don't worry, you can get KI's up-to-the-minute news information and local advice from our talented KI news team anywhere you want now. Follow KI on Twitter or like KI on Facebook to receive local news updates multiple times a day. You can also download our KI radio app at KI.com and enjoy the voice of the foothills at AM 950 KI at any time, day or night.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:16 a.m. Hey, taking a look here at something for the calendar here. We've got the Auburn Home Show. That's right, the Auburn Home Show is coming May 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's going to be beer and wine garden, beautiful landscaping, live music, live demos, gardening tips. There's the tiny house display, gang. Don't forget to check out the tiny house display, a crafter's corner. Again, that's going to be May 17th, 18th, and 19th at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. You can find out more at auburnhomeshows.com, auburnhomeshows.com. Now, heads up, parking is $8 there if you're parking on the fairgrounds, and admission is $8 for general admission, $4 for seniors, but seniors, you get $3 in on Friday. Kids are free. Military and first responders are free all weekend. Again, there's going to be hundreds of vendors, the tiny house display, local contractors, live seminars with experts, DIY projects, live demos, home improvement experts, marketplace for local crafts, and live music. It's the Auburn Home Show. There we go, at the Gold Country Fairgrounds. You can find out more at auburnhomeshows.com. auburnhomeshows.com. Back with more right after this.
What are you doing Sunday, baby? Joining from KAHI this Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. KAHI Trust Stop. This and every Sunday morning starting at 8 here on FM 104.5, AM 950, and KAHI.com. The voice of the foothills.
Oh, what do you say now? What do you do? 19 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:19 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, Sports Ball. We'll keep you all up to date on all that stuff. Back now to America's First News.
Third America's First News.
All that stuff.
Democratic
All right, we got to figure out what's going on with Colfax here. Okay, tonight at approximately, so this is probably going to be my first lead update. First, shot and also for his family. He is currently being treated for his injuries. He is listed in critical condition but stabilized. We also want to thank our community for the outpouring of support we have already received. Tonight at approximately 11 p.m., multiple deputies were patrolling the area of South Auburn Street in Colfax when they located a van. In the van matched the description of a burglary that occurred in the area the day before. The deputies contacted a white male adult in his 30s who was in the van. The suspect immediately became uncooperative with deputies. The deputies attempted to use de-escalation techniques in hopes of gaining compliance from the suspect. At some point in time during the contact, the suspect opened fire on the deputies. Deputies immediately returned fire after being fired upon. During the exchange of gunfire, our deputy was struck and evacuated by other deputies on the scene. Additional responding deputies were able to secure the immediate area, and our special enforcement team, SET, was called to respond to a barricaded suspect. Once our special enforcement team was on the scene, they were able to approach the van, and they determined the suspect was deceased. Further information on this incident and the suspect will be released once next of kin notifications have been made. Our detectives have partnered with the Placer County District's office to investigate this incident. This incident is in no way associated to an earlier incident in the city of Colfax. All right. That is going to be the update for news. All right, so how's that going to change the news then? That might override my story. Man sips wine in forklift as its driver flees officers in downtown Auburn. Rockland Unified facing second lawsuit for divisive policy. There was more movement on Wednesday night in an effort to have a Rockland Unified School District policy repealed that requires school staff to notify parents if their child asks to be referred to as a different gender or name at school. The second lawsuit has been filed by the California Department of Education. The first was by the Rockland Teachers Professional Association, which filed the suit shortly after the policy was passed by the school board in September. At the time, the teachers union said the policy was, quote, an illegal forced outing policy, unquote. In February, the Department of Education opened an investigation into the policy at the beginning of April filed a lawsuit against Rockland Unified. The 34-page lawsuit alleges Rockland Unified was asked to repeal the policy after it was found to unlawfully discriminate against marginalized students. All right, let me see if I can copy this. Can I copy this? I can't. Oh no. All right, let's see if I can go here, see if we can find it on Facebook. Placer County Sheriff's Office. Okay. And I can't copy any of this text. Darn it. Let's see if I got that. Let's see if I can put that in the news. Oh, I got it. Here we go. Will it
I was pleased by yesterday's news that the DEA under the Biden administration is preparing to take a truly historic step, rescheduling cannabis from a Schedule 1 substance to a Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act. Reclassifying cannabis is necessary, and it's a long overdue step, but it is not the end of the story. Three of us are proud to say we're introducing the Cannabis Administration.
All right. Here we go. Deputy involved shooting in Colfax. Deputy involved shooting in Colfax. This is from the Placer County Sheriff's Facebook page. First and foremost, we want to offer our prayers and support to our deputy who was shot during tonight's incident and also for his family. He is currently being treated for his injuries. He is listed in critical condition but stabilized. We also want to thank our community for the outpouring of support we have already received. Tonight at approximately 11 p.m., multiple deputies were patrolling the area of South Auburn Street in Colfax when they located a van in the McDonald's parking lot. The van matched the description of a burglary that occurred in the area the day before. The deputies contacted a white male adult in his 30s who was in the van. The suspect immediately became uncooperative with deputies. The deputies attempted to use de-escalation techniques in hope of gaining compliance. All right, got that. So, got it. Woof. All right, we got sports ball. Busy day today. Let's find ourselves some sports news, local. All right, USA BMX. Hundreds of professional and amateur BMX riders from around the world will descend on Roseville this weekend for the USA BMX NorCal Nationals. The 3-day event from May 3rd to 5th will be held at Oak Creek BMX at 648 Riverside Avenue in Roseville. Races begin at 1:30 p.m. on Friday, today, 9 a.m. Saturday, and 8 a.m. Sunday, with competitors racing well into the evening. Parking is $15 per day, and fans are welcome to watch the riders navigate jumps, twists, and turns along the track. All right, that's what we'll talk about. USA BMX NorCal Nationals coming to Roseville this weekend. There we go. There's our sports ball updates. All right, set that to 4 minutes. Transition's been a little rough today. Yerf. A nodding hand. Okay. Who are we going to shout out? We'll shout out Forest Hill. 209-4580. 209-4980. And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:30 a.m. And good morning to you, Loomis. Currently, it is 53 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today. Very nice, 81 degrees. All right, there's the sports ball music. Let's get right into it. Starting on the hardwood, the NBA, we are in the postseason. Starting on the east side of the country, round one. This is game 6, Pacers versus the Bucks. Pacers win that one 120-98. Indiana wins that series 4-2. Coming over on the that's still on the east side of things. Knicks versus the 76ers. Knicks win that one 118-115. That was game 6. New York wins that series 4-2. Going over to the MLB, Giants versus the Red Sox. Giants win. Yastrzemski, yes, has a solo homer in that win. The Giants win the Red Sox 3-1 there. Nationals versus the Rangers. Rangers win that one 6-0. Astros versus the Guardians. Astros win that one 8-2. Yankees versus the Orioles. Orioles win that one 7-2. Rockies versus the Marlins. Marlins on top there 5-4. A's didn't play yesterday, but they will begin a new homestand against the Miami. I almost said Dolphins. Are you kidding me? Oh, anyway. They're playing Miami. That's going to be today. Game time is at 6:40 p.m. My goodness gracious. Game time is at 6:40 p.m. The radio start Miami Dolphins. The radio start time is 6 p.m. A's playing tonight. Game time is at 6:40 p.m. First pitch. Radio start time is at 6 p.m. tonight. Also from the Auburn Journal locally, USA BMX NorCal Nationals coming to Roseville this weekend. Hundreds of professional and amateur BMX riders from around the world will descend on Roseville this weekend for the USA BMX NorCal Nationals. The 3-day event from May 3rd to 5th will be held at Oak Creek BMX at 648 Riverside Avenue in Roseville. Races begin at 1:30 p.m. Friday, 9 a.m. on Saturday, and 8 a.m. Sunday, with competitors racing well into the evening. Parking is $15 per day, and fans are welcome to watch the riders navigate jumps, twists, and turns along the tracks. Again, that's coming to Roseville, the USA BMX NorCal Nationals today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Back with your KAHI weather right after this. Ooh, discombobulated today. Gracious sakes. All right. Timmy, you're up. Okay, this is going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Here we go. 33 minutes past the top of the hour, 6:33 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your KAHI news, including an update on the officer-involved shooting up in Colfax overnight. Back now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's practice the news. And here's your KAHI news for here's your KAHI news for this Friday, May 3rd. I'm Chris Quant. Deputy involved shooting in Colfax overnight. This is from the Placer County Sheriff's Facebook page. First and foremost, we want to offer our prayers and support to our deputy who was shot during tonight's incident, and also for his family. He is currently being treated for his injuries. He is listed in critical condition but stabilized. We also want to thank our community for the outpouring of support we have already received. Tonight at approximately 11 p.m., multiple deputies were patrolling the area of South Auburn Street in Colfax when they located a van at the McDonald's parking lot. The van matched the description of a burglary that occurred in the area the day before. The deputies contacted a white male adult in his 30s who was in the van. The suspect immediately became uncooperative with deputies. Deputies attempted to use de-escalation techniques in the hopes of gaining compliance from the suspect. At some point in time during the contact, the suspect opened fire on the deputies. Deputies immediately returned fire after being fired upon. During the exchange of gunfire, our deputy was struck and evacuated by other deputies on the scene. Additional responding deputies were able to secure the immediate area, and our special enforcement team, SET, was called to respond to the barricaded suspect. Once our special enforcement team was on the scene, they were able to approach the van, and they determined the suspect was deceased. Further information on this incident and the suspect will be released once next of kin notifications have been made. Our detectives have partnered with the Placer County District Attorney's Office to investigate this incident. The incident is in no way associated to an earlier incident in the city of Colfax. Rockland Unified facing second lawsuit for divisive policy. This is from Fox 40 News. There was more movement on Wednesday night in the effort to have a Rockland Unified School District policy repealed that requires school staff to notify parents if their child asked to be referred to as a different gender or name at school. The second lawsuit has been filed by the California Department of Education. The first was by the Rockland Teachers Professional Association, which filed the suit shortly after the policy was passed by the school board in September. At the time, the teachers union said the policy was, quote, an illegal forced outing policy, unquote. In February, the Department of Education opened an investigation into the policy at the beginning of April, filed a lawsuit against Rockland Unified. The 34-page lawsuit alleges Rockland Unified was asked to repeal the policy after it was found to unlawfully discriminate against marginalized students. On Wednesday, the Rockland Unified School District said in a statement, quote, the California Department of Education has denied the Rockland Unified School District's request to reconsider CDE's investigation report regarding Administrative Regulations 5020 and 5145.3 related to parental notification. On April 23rd, the school district was made aware that CDE initiated legal proceedings in the Placer County Superior Court regarding this matter. Rockland Unified does not comment on pending litigation, unquote. The first hearing in the civil case is set for June 13th. Back with more news after this. Continuing now with your KAHI news, duckling rescued by Roseville firefighters. A fire crew with the Roseville Fire Department was not called to rescue the typical cat stuck in a tree on Wednesday, but a duckling in a storm drain. When the calls came in for the duckling stuck in the storm drain and no animal control officers on duty, the members of Engine 6 responded. The team was able to find the suspect storm drain. The team was able to find the suspect storm drain and located The team was able to find the suspect storm drain and located on duckling that they located the duckling that they on duckling. Man. And located here. News, let me do your work for you. And located the duckling that they successfully rescued. After the rescue, the duckling was brought to the Bird and Pet Clinic of Roseville, where it was given a clean bill of health. See what you did there? Before being handed off to Gold County Wildlife Rescue. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Exxon's $60 billion purchase of Pioneer Natural Resources got the green light from the FTC after the oil giant agreed not to give a seat on its board to Pioneer's former CEO, whom the agency accused of colluding with OPEC to raise oil prices. Sony Pictures and Apollo Global Management offered $26 billion in cash. Wow. Offered $26 billion in cash for Paramount Global, as the company also mulls an offer from Skydance Media. Peloton's CEO is stepping down, and the company plans to lay off 15% of its staff as it continues to grapple with waning popularity in a world in which people aren't stuck at home. Anymore. Arizona's governor signed a bill repealing the 1864 abortion ban. The 1864 abortion ban, recently revived by the state's highest court. A whistleblower at Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems died suddenly this week after contracting a fast-spreading infection. Dan Schneider, the former Nickelodeon producer behind hits like iCarly and The Amanda Show, sued Warner Brothers Discovery and others associated with the documentary series Quiet on the Set, claiming they defamed him by implying he was involved in the sexual abuse of child actors. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is subterranean, meaning being under the surface of the earth. And that's your KAHI news for this Friday, May 3rd. I'm Chris Quant. Am I though? All right, here we go. Set the timer for 6 minutes. Three minutes, Adam. Also, Adam, we got to figure out how to conference call, because I've never done it before. I know. How hard can it be? Famous last words. How hard can it be? We will find out. Woo. Oh yeah, we got to find a community event to do. April 26th. Oh, that's out of date. National Veterans Awareness Ride 2024. It's going to be on Wednesday, May 15th, 7 a.m. the Auburn Veterans Memorial Hall at 100 East Street in Auburn. The ride leaves at 8:10 sharply. A convoy of motorcyclists representing National Veterans Awareness Organization will be greeted at the Auburn Veteran Memorial Hall before they begin their annual pilgrimage from Auburn to Washington, D.C. The group, composed of veteran and non-veteran patriots, the group is taking a 10-day journey across the United States to bring awareness and recognition to our nation's military veterans, POW, MIAs. Come see the riders off. For more information, contact Wayne at 530-906-9120. You can also see the National Veterans Awareness Organization website at nvao.us. Okay. Share 40. And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd. It is 14 minutes, let's say 15 minutes to the top of the hour. And good morning to you, Placerville. Currently 51 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 73 degrees. All right, let's take a look at what's happening on the calendar here. We're going to talk about the National Veterans Awareness Ride. That's going to be on Wednesday, May 15th. That's going to be at 7 a.m. It's going to be at the Auburn Veterans Memorial Hall at 100 East Street in Auburn. The ride leaves at 8:10 a.m. sharp. Now, a convoy of motorcyclists representing the National Veterans Awareness Organization will be greeted at the Auburn Veterans Memorial Hall before they begin their annual pilgrimage from Auburn to Washington, D.C. The group is taking a 10-day journey across the United States to bring awareness to and recognition to our nation's military veterans and POW MIAs. Come see the riders off. You can line the streets around the area there. And let's see, you can wave your American POW and MIA flags in hand as the Auburn Fire Department and the Auburn Jeep Club escort the riders out of town on this 10-day journey. For more information, you can contact Wayne, the California State Coordinator, at 530-906-9120. You can also see the National Veterans Awareness Organization website at nvao.us. Again, it's the National Veterans Awareness Ride. It's going to be Wednesday, May 15th. 7 a.m. They're going to leave from the Auburn Veterans Memorial Hall. That's at 100 East Street in Auburn. The ride leaves at 8:10 a.m. sharp. Come out and support them. Come see the riders off. You can find out more information at nvao.us or call Wayne at 530-906-9120. Back with your KAHI News right after this. Bam, 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 And here's your KAHI News for Friday, May 3rd. I'm Chris Quant. In a developing story overnight, deputy-involved shooting in Colfax. This is from the Placer County Sheriff's Facebook page. First and foremost, we want to offer our prayers and support to our deputy who was shot during tonight's incident, and also for his family. He is currently being treated for his injuries. He is listed in critical condition but stabilized. We also want to thank our community for the outpouring of support we have already received. Tonight at approximately 11 p.m., multiple deputies were patrolling the area of South Auburn Street in Colfax when they located a van in the McDonald's parking lot. The van matched the description of a burglary that occurred in the area the day before. The deputies contacted a white male adult in his 30s who was in the van. The suspect immediately became uncooperative with deputies. The deputies attempted to use de-escalation techniques in hopes of gaining compliance from the suspect. At some point in time during the contact, the suspect opened fire on the deputies. Deputies immediately returned fire after being fired upon. During the exchange of gunfire, our deputy was struck and evacuated by other deputies on the scene. Additional responding deputies were able to secure the immediate area, and our Special Enforcement Team, or SET, was called to respond to a barricaded suspect. Once our Special Enforcement Team was on the scene, they were able to approach the van and they determined the suspect was deceased. Further information on this incident and the suspect will be released once next of kin notifications have been made. Our detectives have partnered with the Placer County District Attorney Office to investigate this incident. The incident is in no way associated to an earlier incident in the city of Colfax. Rockland Unified facing second lawsuit for divisive policy. This is from Fox 40 News. There was more movement on Wednesday night in an effort to have a Rockland Unified School District policy repealed that requires school staff to notify parents if their child asks to be referred to as a different gender or name at school. The second lawsuit has been filed by the California Department of Education. The first was by the Rockland Teachers Professional Association, which filed the suit shortly after the policy was passed by the school board in September. At the time, the teachers union said the policy was, quote, an illegal forced outing policy, unquote. In February, the Department of Education opened an investigation into the policy at the beginning of April, filed a lawsuit against Rockland Unified. The 34-page lawsuit alleges Rockland Unified was asked to repeal the policy after it was found to unlawfully discriminate against marginalized students. On Wednesday, the Rockland Unified School District said in a statement, quote, the California Department of Education has denied the Rockland Unified School District's request to reconsider CDE's investigation report regarding Administrative Regulations 5020 and 5145.3 related to parental notification. On April 23rd, the school district was made aware that CDE initiated legal proceedings in the Placer County Superior Court regarding this matter. Rockland Unified does not comment on pending litigation, unquote. The first hearing in the civil case is set for June 13th. Back with more news after this. Dr. Dahlia. Continuing now with your KAHI news, duckling rescued by Roseville firefighters. This is from Fox 40 News. And a bit of good news for the day. A fire crew with the Roseville Fire Department was not called to rescue the typical cat stuck in a tree on Wednesday, but a duckling in a storm drain. When calls came in for a duckling stuck in a storm drain and no animal control officers on duty, the members of Engine 6 responded. The team was able to find the suspect's storm drain and located the duckling that they successfully rescued. After the rescue, the duckling was brought to the Bird and Pet Clinic of Roseville, where it was given a clean bill of health, see what you did there, before being handed off to the Gold Country Wildlife Rescue. Gold County Wildlife rescue. There we go. And from the Morning Brew, here's a stat for you. Relationship advice. Find someone who wants you as much as Google wants to be the default search engine on Safari. Newly released court documents in the government's antitrust case against Google, which is scheduled to wrap up with closing arguments today, show that Google parent Alphabet paid Apple $20 billion to remain the default web browser in 2022. Bloomberg reports that during the trial, a witness let slip that Google pays 36% of search ad revenue to Apple. And though the relationship is at the heart of the government's monopoly claims against Google, other documents show Microsoft also wanted in, offering Apple 90% of ad revenue to break up with Google and go for Bing. And from the Morning Brew, here's what else is brewing. Exxon's $60 billion purchase of Pioneer Natural Resources got the green light from the FTC after the oil giant agreed not to give a seat on its board to Pioneer's former CEO, whom the agency accused of colluding with OPEC to raise oil prices. Sony Pictures and Apollo Global Management offered $26 billion in cash for Paramount Global, as the company also molds an offer from Skydance Media. Peloton's CEO is stepping down, and the company plans to lay off 15% of its staff as it continues to grapple with waning popularity in a world which people aren't stuck at home anymore. Arizona's governor signed a bill repealing the 1864 abortion ban recently revived by the state's highest court. A whistleblower at Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems died suddenly this week after contracting a fast-spreading infection. Dan Schneider, the former Nickelodeon producer behind hits like iCarly and The Amanda Show, sued Warner Brothers, Discovery, and others associated with the documentary series Quiet on Set, claiming they defamed him by implying he was involved in the sexual abuse of child actors. And finally, also from the Morning Brew, today's word of the day is subterranean, meaning being under the surface of the earth. And that's your KAHI news for this Friday, May 3rd. I'm Chris Quant. On now to the California Ag Report. I am Haley Ship. Recently with our speaker, Jordan Brown. Okay.
Nation's Finest, with the VA's supportive services for veteran families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates in more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org.
Happy birthday, Grandma! You're the best!
9676. That's 1-833-467-9676.
Happy birthday, Grandma! We love you. I hope you have the best birthday ever. Happy birthday, Grandma! We love you. Hope you have such a good day.
Oh, perfect timing. Woo-hoo! Nice. And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour. It is 7 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. Thanks so much for joining me. Chris Quant with you here, holding it down in beautiful Studio A in the KAHI Studios, downtown Auburn, in the State Building here. My goodness gracious, is it a nice looking day out there? It's going to be a good one. We'll check in with meteorologist Tim Root to see what today's looking like. Also, I hate to rain on the parade, literally. You see what I did there, producer Adam? Yeah, it might have a little bit of rain tomorrow, but it looks like it's going to clear up on Sunday. Meteorologist Tim Root will tell us all about that. Gang, our dance card is full today. Let me tell you, we've got Sarah coming in from the Placer County Chipper program. What is that all about? Well, we'll find out more and how you can take advantage of that. That's going to be during the 7 o'clock hour this hour. Oh my gosh, we're already at the 7 o'clock hour. It'll be later on this hour, in the second half of the hour. Also in the 8 o'clock hour, Mary Jane and Lacey J. Dalton will be joining me. I'm going to do a conference call. I've never done a conference call here. Producer Adam, we're going to have to figure out the phones here. Mary Jane was in yesterday. She left me detailed instructions. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get both of them on the line here. Lacey J. Dalton, Mary J. is going to have her on her show over the weekend here, but we're going to chat with them both live here. Lacey J. Dalton, country music star. She's worked with, I don't know if you've heard of these guys. Maybe you've heard of them, like Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, George Jones, a whole lot more, has won a ton of awards. Really excited to talk to them. She's also going to be performing in the area here this weekend, so we'll give you information on how you can take advantage of that. Go check her out if you want to. Also tomorrow, May the 4th be with you. It's May Star Wars Day, and we are celebrating my mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law's 70th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Lorraine. A little bit, her birthday isn't actually tomorrow, it's a little bit later on next week, but tomorrow's the day when we can all do it. Now, this is what happens when you have a gaggle of children. My wife, she has 7 siblings, besides, so there's 8 of them total. And then throw in all the grandkids on top of that. And we're going to have a full house. It is a full day of celebrations tomorrow. We have all been informed by my sister-in-law, Anne, that everybody is going to show up. And here's the time and the organization. It's like organizing an army. There will be a talent show, so everybody has to bring a talent. Performing is not optional. You will do it whether you are a performer or not. So everybody's got to get their talent together. I guess my wife and her siblings, they put on talent shows when they were growing up. So this is hearkening to the past. We're going to put on a talent show for Mom. And I'm trying to figure out what mine is. I might do, I don't know. I feel like it's cheating a little bit because I get to do it every day, but my idea is, and let me know if you think this is a good idea, I think I'm going to do a live version of Daily Dad Jokes where I'll set everything up. I'll have the music playing in the background. Maybe producer Adam will come. Maybe he'll hold up little cards that say like a 5 or a 6 or a 10, like the Olympic judges, for dad jokes. And I will have different family members just sit down at the table with me like we're on the radio, and they'll read off their dad joke. Everybody get a dad joke. Come on, sit down, hang out. We're going to have a daily dad joke segment. So we'll do that. Maybe do a little monologue. I'll see if I can dust off one of my monologues for for my mother-in-law, as we all do. I don't know what some of the other. I think there's going to be a skit. A skit is going to be performed. I'm not sure what the kids are going to do. I think my youngest, he may just show off some dog training skills. I think he might do that since he's raising a dog for guide dog for the blind. So I think my wife's doing slam poetry. Maybe I'll see if I can get some audio from this. We'll see if we can record some of this and see what. I don't know if it's interesting to anybody else. It'll be interesting to me. But that is happening this weekend. So I will bring you reports on Monday of how that all went down. Also on Tuesday of next week, Jerry Henry from KAHI, our very own Jerry Henry from KAHI. He's going to be the guest speaker at the Meddlers meeting Tuesday during the 7 o'clock hour. I think it'll be on around 7:30. Just talking about KAHI, about having a local radio station here, the history of KAHI, and maybe what the future looks like for KAHI. Excited. I'm going to be tuning in. I hope you'll tune in for that as well. But hey, we need to find out what our day is looking like with meteorologist Tim Root. Timmy, how are we looking for today? 5 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:05 a.m. Coming up in our next segment, we'll have your Fox Business Report. Also keep you updated on the developing situation up there in Colfax. We had a deputy-involved shooting overnight. We'll make sure you stay updated on that with our KAHI News. Also, we're going to have something for the calendar. Make sure that you're up to date on all the events happening around our area this weekend and in the coming weeks. Off now to America's First News. I'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Joe Biden on Thursday defended the right of students to protest, but decried the disorder of recent days. The Democratic president broke days of silence on the protest with his remarks, which followed mounting criticism from Republicans who have tried to turn scenes of unrest on college campuses into a campaign issue.
It's a matter of what's right. There's the right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos. People have
good morning.
Education, the right to get a degree, the right to walk across the campus.
Oh, I had it turned down. I thought, the radio murmur wasn't happening because I had it
There should be no
had it turned down.
campus, no
Ooh, gracious sakes.
anti-Semitism, the threats of
Also just trying to keep up with the local news because apparently it was a crazy night.
or violence of any kind.
Yeah, I just had it turned. I've got it.
Islamophobia
I turn it down, turn it up. I was rehearsing the news and so I turned it down.
is simply wrong.
Yeah,
There's no
so
place for racism in America. It's all wrong. It's un-American.
Anyway, gotta text this gal. I haven't heard back from her from the Chipper program.
We respect.
I hope she can come in.
To express that. But it doesn't
Hope
mean
she's coming
anything
in.
goes.
By focusing on law
See.
and order messaging while defending the right to free
530.
speech, Biden is looking for middle ground in the middle of his re-election campaign. Former President Donald Trump making it political as he tries to downplay right-wing violence.
The right is not your problem.
386.
The law enforcement likes to say, the FBI director said that he worries about the right. But don't worry about the right. The right's fine. Worry about the left, because this is a movement from the left. These are radical left lunatics. And they got to be stopped now, because it's going to go on, and it's going to get worse and worse. And, they take over countries, okay? And we're not letting them take over the USA. We're not letting the radical left morons take over this country. You can't let that happen.
Trump has called January 2021 rioters unbelievable patriots and has talked openly about the prospect of issuing pardons if he wins a second term. Several times this week, he wondered if protesters who vandalized the university buildings would be treated the same way as the supporters who attacked the Capitol, trying to overturn the result of the election, ignoring the clear differences between the two. The second week of testimony in Donald Trump's hush money trial will wrap up today after jurors heard a potentially crucial piece of evidence, a recording of Trump and Michael Cohen discussing
See if she responds. Hopefully she responds.
The former president denies the affair. Leaving court for the day, Trump said he's very happy about the way things are going, but he declined to weigh in on testimony that took much of the day from Stormy Daniels' former attorney, Keith Davidson. Trump falsely claimed he's not allowed to testify, with his attorney nodding in agreement.
Well, I'm not allowed to testify. I'm under a gag order. I guess I can't even testify at all. Now, we're going to be appealing the gag order. I'd love to answer that question. It's a very easy question, the easiest question so far. But I'm not allowed to testify because this judge, who's totally conflicted, has me under an unconstitutional gag order. Nobody's ever had that before. And we don't like it, and it's not fair. Other people are allowed to do whatever they want to us, and I'm not allowed, as a presidential candidate, the leading candidate, the Republican Party nominee, and the one who's leading Biden by a lot, I'm not allowed to talk. There's never been any abuse like this before. This conflicted judge ought to get out of this case. He should not be having this case. He gives us nothing. It's such a rigged court. So I'm not allowed to testify because of an unconstitutional gag order. We're appealing the gag order, and let's see what happens. Thank you very much.
Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records as part of a scheme to bury stories that he feared could hurt his 2016 campaign. The United Nations chief warned on the eve of World Press Freedom Day that the media is under attack in every corner of the world, urging all nations to stop the targeting of journalists. Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke as Reporters Without Borders reported political attacks on press freedom have significantly intensified in the past year.
I'm shocked and appalled by the high number of journalists killed in Israeli military operations in Gaza. The United Nations recognizes the invaluable work of journalists and media professionals to ensure that the public is informed and engaged. Without facts, we cannot fight mis and disinformation. Without accountability, we will not have strong policies in place. Without press freedom, we won't have any freedom. The free press is not a choice, but a necessity. Our World Press Freedom Day is very important. And so I call on governments, the private sector, and civil society to join us in reaffirming our commitment to safeguarding press freedom and the rights of journalists and media professionals around the world.
44 journalists have been killed for covering environment stories over the past 15 years, according to a separate report by UNESCO, which organizes today's World Press Freedom Day. Asian markets wobbled after U.S. stocks swung to a mixed finish, with the Fed Reserve delaying cuts to interest rates. Here at home on Thursday, the S&P rose a day after swinging sharply after Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said out loud the fear that's recently sent stock prices lower, and he raised traders' hopes for imminent cuts to interest rates.
It is likely that gaining such greater confidence will take longer than previously expected. We are prepared to maintain the current target range for the federal funds rate for as long as appropriate. We're also prepared to respond to an unexpected weakening in the labor market. If we did have a path where inflation proves more persistent than expected and where the labor market remains strong, but inflation is moving sideways and we're not gaining greater confidence, well, that would be a case in which it could be appropriate to hold off on rate cuts. I think there's also other paths that the economy could take, which would cause us to want to consider rate cuts. And those would be, two of those paths would be that we do gain greater confidence, as we've said, that inflation is moving sustainably down to 2%. And another path could be, an unexpected weakening in the labor market, for example.
The hope on Wall Street has been that a cool down could help prevent upward pressure on inflation. The downside is that if it weakens too much, a major support for the economy could give out.
America's First News will be right back. In today's troubled world, our USA Armed Forces stand ready to protect you, your family, and our American way of life. When veterans return to civilian life, they deserve your recognition and support. You can help put vets to work by donating your car, truck, or van to Patriotic Hearts. Your donation will directly support programs to help vets find jobs or even start their own business. Donate today for fast, free pickup of your vehicle, running or not. Operators are standing by to answer questions about making a tax-deductible vehicle donation. Find out how you can make a difference in the life of a United States veteran. Call 800-209-4580 for 24-hour response. Call 800-209-4580. 800-209-4580. That's 800-209-4580.
And good Friday morning. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI. You know what it is. It is the voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Nevada City. Currently, it is 51 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today of 71 degrees. All right, let's turn it over now to the Fox Business Report.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
People always wonder, like, what do you do if you have to go to the bathroom? You run.
175,000 new jobs last month, fewer than March, and a 5-month low. The unemployment rate rose to 3.9%. Fed Chair Jerome Powell has said it would take a sustainable decline in inflation or a weakening of the job market to consider lowering interest rates. Wall Street is looking at a couple of major companies holding up better than expected. Apple's quarter topped expectations, and it is increasing its dividend by 4%, also buying back $110 billion worth of stock. And shares of Hershey, the chocolate giant, are higher. Its quarter was better than expected. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Coselda, invested in you.
It was the worst airplane trip I'd ever been on in my life. I looked at my boarding pass. They had me in row 187K. 187K. I didn't even realize they made airplanes that big. I mean, economy ended in row 90, so you can imagine the section I was sitting in. So I finally got to my seat. What a nightmare. On one side of me, a screaming baby. No adult, just a screaming baby. On the other side, a fidget. A fidget, yeah, a real fidget. I mean, usually I like to talk to the guy sitting next to me, but this character had no personality at all. Although he did kind of chuckle when the stewardess mentioned that the seat could be used as a quotation device. Anyway, just to how good this guy was, he started smoking a pipe. He filled the whole cabin up with smoke. But I got the last laugh when the stewardess came around. He ordered red wine. Fish with red wine.
I don't think we call them stewardesses anymore.
You just did. You saw it on the radio. If you're an advertiser, this station and the Radio Advertising Bureau have news for you. Just call the station and say, I saw it on the radio.
16 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:16 a.m. Let's talk about another event for the calendar. Gang, we are talking Clay Fest. What the heck is Clay Fest? I've never heard of Clay Fest. Well, let me tell you, it's going to be on Saturday, May 11th. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is going to be in Lincoln. Lincoln's 35th annual Clay Day consists of artists carving clay pipes from the Gladding McBean factory into fantastic creations. Have you ever been to the Gladding McBean factory? My grandma took me there when we were kids. I remember it to this day. I'm like, why in the world are we going to this weird looking factory? There is so much history from the Gladding McBean factory. If you don't know about that, you should check it out. It is very, very fascinating. This is a free, family-friendly, all-day event happening on May 11th in downtown Lincoln there. It's a Clay Fest. It's at Bierman Plaza. That's at 640 F Street in Lincoln. There's going to be music. There's going to be kids' activity. There's free camp clay. What is that? Have fun. Get dirty. You're going to be working with clay. You're going to be taking all these terracotta things and shaping it and all that great thing. Did you know the building fronts here in Auburn, right on Central Square here, that terracotta came from the Gladding McBean factory? Well, it did. And there's a lot of history there. Again, it's going to be on May 11th. It's Clay Fest in Lincoln, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Bierman Plaza, 640 F Street in Lincoln. You can find out more information by going to artleagueoflincoln.com/clay-fest. Back with more after this.
Here to say you are only as good as the people you work with. At Homer Insurance,
good thing I saw I had a minute-long commercial.
5-star A-rated carriers that are the best at what they do. Whether it's general liability for your business or getting a better
no word from Sarah.
Compensation. At Homer, we will find you the very best policy.
Hope she shows up.
Rate. Saving businesses
versus money is what we do every day. What better time to save big money on your insurance than right now? We saved a beauty salon $2,200. We saved a general contractor $4,700, and we saved a private school $75,000. No matter what you do,
Daily Dad Jokes.
Insurance coverage at the best possible rate. Call 916-339-7070 and let Homer Insurance do the work for you. It takes one quick call to 916-339-7070, and in minutes you'll see what Homer can do for you. Call right now.
19 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, your Daily Dad Jokes. That's right, make you laugh, sigh, probably roll your eyes. Back to America's First News. I'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
America's First News continues. In Democratic
All right,
Arizona,
see if we got any updates on that deputy involved shooting.
Most abortions to the past by signing a bill Thursday to repeal it. Hobbs said the move is just the beginning of a fight to protect reproductive health care in Arizona.
Almost a month ago, I stood in this very room detailing the dangers of the Arizona Supreme Court's decision to uphold the 1864 total abortion ban. In the recent since, we've seen women and healthcare providers suffer from the chaos and confusion caused by this ruling. I've heard from doctors who were unsure if they would wind up in a jail cell for simply doing their job. Women who told me they didn't know if it was safe to start a family here in Arizona. These excruciating conversations are exactly why I have made one thing clear, very clear. This ban needs to be repealed. I said it in 2022 when Roe was overturned, and I've said it again and again as governor.
Placer County Triple
As
Program.
they have for 160 years, extreme politicians came up with every excuse imaginable to maintain this draconian ban. A ban that was passed by 27
Technical
men
assistance for fire safety,
before
technical
Arizona
assistance for
was
forest
even a
health,
state.
fire safety
A
resources,
time when America was
education.
at war over the right to own slaves. A time before women could even vote. Today, we are doing what 23 governors and 55 legislatures refused to do, and I'm so proud to be the ones that got this job done.
The repeal of the 1864 law that the state Supreme Court recently reinstated won't take effect until 90 days after the legislative session, which typically happens in June or July. Abortion rights advocates say they're hopeful a court will step in to prevent what could be a confusing landscape of access for girls and women across the states as laws are introduced and then reversed. Israel and Hamas appear to be seriously negotiating an end to the war in
let's
Gaza.
go
and
to
return of Israeli hostages.
Dad Jokes channel.
Proposal and compromises by both sides after months of dead talks. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken this week praised Israel for offering what he described as a significant concession, saying the time is now for Hamas to seal the deal.
I met earlier today with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and we talked about, of course, the hostage deal that's on the table that would produce an immediate ceasefire, get the hostages home, alleviate suffering of Palestinian people in Gaza, and also give us something to build on for the future to get to durable peace and security.
There it is.
Israel has made
Go to Mother's Day Dad
compromises in
Jokes.
the proposal that's on the table, demonstrating its desire and willingness to get this agreement and get it done. Now, as we've been saying, it's on Hamas. Hamas has to decide whether it will take this deal and actually advance the situation for the people that it purports to care about in Gaza.
What did the mommy spider say to the baby spider? You spend too much time on the web. Knock, knock. Who's there? Justin. Justin. Justin who? Just in time to say Happy Mother's Day. Roses are red, violets are blue. My mom's jokes are funny.
Hamas leaders say they're reviewing the
How do you keep cows quiet so their mommy can sleep late? You use the move button.
The stakes in the ceasefire
Ew.
negotiations were made clear in a new UN report that said if the Israel-Hamas war stops today, it will still take until
What did the tree tell her son before a big game? I'm rooting for you. Don't wake up, Mom. There are 7 species that eat their young. Why was Mother's Day? Your mom might be one of them. Why was the mother firefly so happy? Because her children were so.
The U.S. military's construction of a floating pier and causeway to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza is more than halfway done and remains on track to begin operations early this month.
4 minutes.
Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh.
So as of
All
today,
right, perfect.
we are over 50% complete on setting up the pier. The floating pier, you'll remember there are a few different components to this pier and the JLOTS operation. The floating pier has been completely constructed and set up. The causeway is in progress. So in terms of date of delivery, we've said from the beginning, early May. We still believe that we're on track to meet that, but I don't have an exact date for you on when humanitarian aid, when we're going to see those first trucks going into Gaza.
Several Army vessels are off the coast of Gaza assembling the pier and causeway. Once the causeway is finished, it will be anchored to the shore by the Israeli military. With student protests over the Israel-Hamas war disrupting campuses nationwide, several major universities are intent on ensuring that commencement ceremonies, joyous milestones for graduates, their families, and friends, go off without a hitch this weekend. It won't be easy. Colleges are hiring extra security, screening attendees at venues, and emphasizing that significant disruptions by pro-Palestinian protesters won't be tolerated. At the same time, they're pledging to honor free speech rights by designating protest zones. Senate Democrats reintroduced broad legislation this week to legalize cannabis on the federal level, a major policy shift with wide support, but it's unlikely to be enacted this year ahead of November's elections and in a divided government. Senate Leader Chuck Schumer's announcement came after the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration recommended reclassifying marijuana as a less dangerous drug. The Justice Department proposal would recognize the medical use of cannabis but would not legalize it for recreational use.
I was pleased by yesterday's news that the DEA under the Biden administration is preparing to take a truly historic step, rescheduling cannabis from a Schedule 1 substance to a Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act. Reclassifying cannabis is necessary, and it's a long overdue step, but it is not the end of the story. The three of us are proud to say we're introducing the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act. As I said, our legislation will finally remove marijuana from the federal list of controlled substances. It will expunge the criminal records of so many Americans with low-level marijuana offenses that haunt them and inhibit them for decades, preventing them from getting good jobs and leading good, strong lives. And it will help our country close the book once and for all on the awful and harmful and failed war on drugs, which all too often has been nothing more than a war on Americans of color.
Schumer's bill, which announced to a Democratic wish list for federal cannabis policy, would end the federal prohibition on marijuana by removing it from a controlled substances list. The legislation is highly unlikely to move in Congress during this election year. Republicans, many of whom have opposed federal cannabis legislation, control the House, and none have signed on to the bill. Missouri's professional sports teams Thursday turned in more than 340,000 signatures to put a ballot proposal to legalize sports betting before voters this November. The campaign had help from Cardinals mascot Fred Bird and St. Louis Blues mascot Louie. The oversized bird and blueberry waved enthusiastically as they hauled boxes with voter signatures to the Missouri Secretary of State's office. Republican Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft now must validate the voter signatures before the proposal officially goes to the ballot. It needs roughly 180,000 to qualify. A total of 38 states and the District of Columbia allow some form of sports betting, including 30 states and the nation's capital that allow online wagering. The Missouri initiative is an attempt to sidestep the Senate, where bills to allow sports betting have repeatedly stalled. Under the initiative, at least $5 million annually in licensing fees and taxes would go toward problem gambling programs, with remaining tax revenues going toward elementary, secondary, and higher education. If approved by voters, state regulators would have to launch sports betting no later than December 1st, 2025. And Peloton is cutting about 400 jobs worldwide as part of a restructuring effort, and its CEO Barry McCarthy stepping down after just 2 years as the company continues working on turning around its business. Shares slid 12%. Peloton's been working on a significant rebranding since last year, shifting its identity as a seller of luxury exercise bikes and equipment to health technology overall. Reach out to me anytime across the board on social media.
Usually I lock the door, I'm like,
more on the Wellness Friday morning.
So,
America's first.
Yeah, that's all good. All right, so I'm going to have two of you. So let's have you guys. I'll turn on the lights. Come on in here. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. So Sarah and Aaron. Awesome. All right, I'm going to pop you guys over here. I've got a segment right before we go on the air. So I'm just going to want to hang out here for a bit. Yeah, just feel free to hang out for a bit.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our healthcare. This is why so many people are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. MediShare can save you a lot of money. The typical family.
All right, here we go.
$500 a month. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members
We got
have shared
people
more
in
than
the building. We got
$5 billion
guests.
of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second. And if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Now, the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 855-SHARE-40.
That's 855-SHARE-40. Do I have enough jokes here? Let's see what.
If Americans want to remain a free and sovereign nation, more people need to understand the principles and values that built America. At the John Birch Society, we have the organization, the plan, and the resources to do just that. Our founder, Robert Welch, said, "Education is our total strategy.
Lotus, tulips, and
food
roses,
our
right?
only weapon."
Your card
Go
is
to
on fire.
gbs.org to learn more, including how you can get involved to work locally and impact nationally. Join us at jbs.org.
And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, 7:30 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. And hey, good morning to you, Lake of the Pines. Currently, it is 54 degrees where you're at right now. Looking for a high today. Very nice, balmy 74 degrees out there. All right, that's right. It is time for your daily dad joke. That's right. Make you laugh, sigh. Most likely you roll your eyes. We've got some Mother's Day dad. Seems kind of an oxymoron. Mother's Day dad jokes, Mother's Day mom jokes, maybe something that. Well, okay, we'll have those for you here in just a little bit. Checking the inbox, though, at live@kahi.com. You can send me yours, live@kahi.com, or you can call me 530-885-3565. From Micah T. Here we go. Guess who I bumped into on the way to the optometrist? Everyone. You know, it's a good dad joke when you're laughing before you even deliver the punchline. Guess who I bumped into on the way to the optometrist? Everyone. Hey, that was hilarious, especially when I was going to the optometrist the other day. How about another one here? Did you hear this? NASA is launching a satellite to say sorry to the aliens. They're calling it Apollo G. That's pretty good. NASA is launching a satellite to say sorry to the aliens. They're calling it Apollo G. There we go. Double rim shot. All right, let's go to our Mother's Day dad joke, Mother's Day mom jokes. All right, here we go. Adam, keep the music running here. All right, here we go. Let's take this one. What kind of flowers are best for Mother's Day? Mums. Hey. All right, let's see. What did the tree tell her son before the big game? I'm rooting for you. Oh, man, we are on fire here. Speaking of fire, when are lotuses, tulips, and roses red? When your garden's on fire. All right, and those are your daily dad/mom jokes for this Friday, May 3rd. Again, you can send me yours live at kahi.com or give me a call, 530-885-3565. Back with your KAHI weather right after this.
Or a family member have been injured in an accident, what should you look for in a personal injury lawyer? The first thing is an experienced personal injury law firm that is actually taking cases to trial. Hi, I'm Frederick Penny, managing partner and founder of Penny Associates Injury Lawyers. For over 30 years, Penny Associates Injury Lawyers have been successfully representing individuals and their families. At Penny Associates, we're experienced trial lawyers, and we work with you to get the best results. Go to pennyandAssociates.com or call 800-616-4529.
Classic Farm Supplies, Big Red Barn on Highway 80 in Newcastle. With the new year, it's time to spray the weeds, lay down the fertilizer, and soon time to plant the pastures. Fix or replace the fence. Ever hear the term good fences make great neighbors? Well, it's true. Bring your plant to Classic Farm Supply and our knowledgeable staff will get you started. We've got your critters covered too, from livestock and poultry to cat and dog. We can feed them all. Classic Farm Supply, the Big Red Barn on Highway 80 in Newcastle. Come see us for all your critter and farming and ranching needs.
Good Friday morning. I'm forecasting partly to mostly sunny skies today. Highs in the mid-70s.
and light variable winds. Scattered clouds around 52 tonight. An increasing chance of showers at breezy Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy in the mid-50s. More showers, maybe a rumble of thunder Saturday night. We clear out on Sunday, partly to mostly sunny, about 55 to 60 degrees. This is meteorologist Tim Root from FM 105 and AM 950 KAHI.
33 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up in our next segment, Sarah is here in the house, in the building, and she brought a friend from the Placer County Chipper Program. We're going to find out all about that. If you've got questions, you can call in 530-885-3565. Let us know when we're chatting, or you can email live@kahi.com. I'll do my best to get your phone call. That's coming up next. Back now to America's First News.
New York City officials said Thursday 32 of the 112 arrested at Columbia University.
All right, so I'm going to have to move the computer because they are in the other studio. There's two of them, and I need to be able to see them through the glass here. So we'll figure it out.
That's been disputed by student organizers. Joe Biden broke the silence of protest Thursday, denouncing violence and intimidation.
We've all seen images, and they put to the test two fundamental American principles. The first is the right to free speech, and for people to peacefully assemble and make their voices heard. The second is the rule of law. Both must be upheld. We are not an authoritarian nation where we silence people or squash dissent. American people are heard. In fact, peaceful protest is the best tradition of how Americans respond to consequential issues. But neither are we a lawless country. We're a civil society, and order must prevail. Throughout our history, we've often faced moments like this because we are a big, diverse, free-thinking, and freedom-loving nation. In moments like this, there are always those who rush in to score political points. But this isn't a moment for politics. It's a moment for clarity. So let me be clear. Peaceful protest in America. Violent protest is not protected. Peaceful protest is. It's against the law when violence occurs. Destroying property is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Vandalism, trespassing, breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes and graduations. None of this is a peaceful protest. Threatening people, intimidating people, instilling fear in people is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Dissent is essential to democracy, but dissent must never lead to disorder or to denying the rights of others so students can finish the semester and their college education.
The demonstrations could affect the youth vote for President Biden and hurt his re-election chance. Tent encampments at protesters calling on universities to stop doing business with Israel or companies they support the war in Gaza have spread across campuses nationwide. Israel's brand of protest as anti-Semitic. Senator Bernie Sanders said about Israel's Palestinian.
Why these protesters are out there. And they are out there not because they are pro-Hamas. They are out there because they are outraged by what the Israeli government is now doing in Gaza, which is bringing unbelievable, not just to the terrorist organization of Hamas, but to the entire Palestinian people. And that's why these anti-war demonstrators are out there. They do not want to see a situation continue where 110,000 Palestinians out of 5% of the population have been killed or wounded, where children now face starvation. Hundreds of thousands of children face starvation because Israel is refusing to allow humanitarian aid to get to where it has to go. Where 2/3 of the homes in Gaza have been destroyed or damaged, where the entire civilian infrastructure, water, electricity has been annihilated. Where education systems, every university in Gaza has been bombed. So I think it's important to understand why these young people are out there, and they're out there for the right reasons.
Early Thursday, officers searched a crowd of demonstrators at the University of California, Los Angeles, ultimately taking at least 200 protesters into custody after hundreds defied orders to leave, some forming human chains as police fired flashbangs to break up the crowds. Britain's governing Conservative Party is suffering heavy losses as local election results pour in, piling pressure on Prime Minister Rishi Sunak ahead of a UK general election in which the main opposition Labour Party appears increasingly likely to return to power after 14 years. Labour won control of councils in England and hasn't held for decades and was successful in a special by-election for Parliament. Its only negative has been in some areas with large Muslim populations, such as Oldham in northwest England. The party's candidates appear to have suffered as a result of leader Keir Starmer's strong pro-Israel stance in the conflict in Gaza. Turning to sports this morning, and Josh Hart hit a go-ahead three with 24 seconds left. That was finally enough to help send the New York Knicks past the Philadelphia 76ers, 118-115, Game 6 Thursday night, and into the second round of the playoffs. Jalen Brunson had 41 points and 12 assists, who once again had a huge fan base on the road.
Man, this place is unbelievable, man. Good play in Philly. This crowd is crazy. And so I'm just happy we got enough Knicks fans down here. They didn't buy all the tickets. And so, I'm really happy about that. We were focused. We knew that this wasn't going to be easy. And, even with the lead that we had, we tried to obviously play with the lead, but we knew that they were going to keep fighting. Every game is like this, so it doesn't matter how you start, it doesn't matter how you finish.
Making the comments to Inside the NBA on TNT. The Knicks are set for an Eastern Conference semifinal matchup with Indiana. Game 1 Monday night at the Garden. The Pacers beat Milwaukee in 6 games and advanced to the second round for the first time in 10 years with a 120-98 victory over the Bucks. Damian Lillard returned from a right Achilles injury and played well, but he wasn't nearly as dominant as he was in the first 2 games. Doc Rivers on how the game got away from Milwaukee.
I thought their pace, their speed, eventually, Giannis, I thought fatigue was a factor, but let's give the Pacers a lot of credit. I think Rick Carlisle's done an amazing job. They've created a hell of a team. Not only young, I think the Siakam trade really will change their fortunes going forward. They're just a tough team. Obviously we had guys out and all that. And that's hard, right? But just give them credit. I thought they played terrific. And terrific city, terrific franchise.
Bobby Portis Jr. had 20 points and 15 rebounds for Milwaukee. On the ice, William Nylander scored twice. Joseph Wall made 22 saves. And the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Boston Bruins 2-1 to force a Game 7 in the first-round Eastern Conference Series. Toronto has overcome a 3-1 series deficit, also staving off elimination with a 2-1 victory in overtime in Boston Tuesday night to send the series back to Boston for a winner-take-all finale Saturday. Bruins coach Jim Montgomery says his team's first-period struggles are unacceptable.
We got to find a way to start on time, and we just got to be better. Toronto, starting on time. They're getting the advantage. They have the momentum. I thought the last 30 minutes we pushed back really well. It shouldn't take that long.
What have they done differently? What has Toronto done differently in the last 2 games?
Won more battles. They spent more time in our ozone, which has forced us to defend. We don't have as much juice going the other way.
Jim, overall, do you feel differently about this game versus the last one in terms of, I thought you were getting some shot attempts beginning around the 30-minute mark with the goals, but did you feel better about how it was progressing?
Yes. Significantly so. We were a much better hockey team tonight than we were. I didn't recognize the team in Game 5. Last 30 minutes, I recognized their team, and that's what we're going to have to build on.
The series winner takes on the Florida Panthers. On the diamond, Ryan Mountcastle with Jorge Mateo each homered and drove in 2 runs, lifting the Baltimore Orioles to a series-deciding 7-2 victory over the Yankees Thursday. Jordan Westburg's 2-run triple helped the Orioles complete a 4-run fifth that chased Yankees starter Carlos Rodon and secure a 3rd win of the 4-game set, the first of this season between likely AL East contenders. Mike Yastrzemski had a visit from his grandfather Carl and then homered into the Fenway Park bullpen, just like his Hall of Fame grandfather did so often in his heyday, and San Francisco beat Boston 3-1. Ryan Walker pitched a perfect 6 innings to help the Giants avoid the sweep and snap Boston's 4-game win streak. Camilo Doval pitched the 9th inning for save number 6. Jesus Sanchez hit a game-winning single in the bottom of the 10th, and the Miami Marlins beat the Colorado Rockies 5-4.
All right, so we're going to move this over here. Thanks for tuning in. From here, you're going to see a side profile view. All right.
And Francisco Lindor delivered a pair of 2-run doubles off the bench, rallying New York past Chicago in 11 innings for a split of their 4-game series, 7-6. Nathan Eovaldi pitched 5 1/3 shutout.
You guys able to hear me okay?
And Ezekiel Duran's 2-out double was the first of
Okay, Sarah, just talking to your mic real quick for me, real quick.
Testing.
Move it a little bit closer to your mouth.
Better?
You can move the whole mic. Yeah, you can just pull it towards you. It's fine. Perfect. To wherever's comfortable for you. That one's kind of a little springy.
Is that
so
better?
yeah, that's good. All right, Aaron, how about your mic there?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Solid. Got it. Sounds like a college DJ. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Matt Ray Talk, more on the way. You've got America's First News.
How many more times are you going to hit snooze? America's First News with Matt Ray.
In a study, it was found that 33% of 44 herbal supplements had no trace of the advertised herb. Don't let that happen to you. Hi, this is Dr. Mitch. If you want to ensure quality, please go to totalwellness.com. Supplements made for physicians only now available to you too. Totalwellness.com, helping you to look good, feel good, and enjoy total wellness.
Okay, we got about 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah?
So we'll talk for a bit. We'll take a break for commercials. We got about 30 seconds. We'll talk for a bit. We'll take a break for commercials. If we go a little bit past 8 o'clock, or okay, awesome.
Good thing is, he knows what he's best.
And my brain is saying, it's time to go home. Somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy. Me too.
Know your buzz warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is 15 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:45 a.m. And hey, good morning to you, Meadow Vista. Currently 55 degrees right now. Looking for a high today. Very nice, 73 degrees. Gang, we are in for a treat. We have some guests in the building. Not one, but two folks joining in the building. So many that I had to open up Studio B to get microphones for everybody. We are having a good time. We've got Sarah from the Placer County Chipper Program. And as a bonus, Aaron is here from Placer County Probation. How that ties in, I had that question. We'll find that out here in just a minute. But good morning, you two. How are you both doing this morning? I am so excited to have you here. Aaron, good morning to you. Thanks for coming in. I said, hey, have you guys done any radio before? Sarah's like, it's been a hot minute. Aaron's like, oh, I did this back in college. I'm ready. Did you call them the cans? The headphones are on, ready to go. Put them on there, and yeah, you just like a fish to water. You were right into it. All right, Sarah, why don't you introduce yourself to start off here and just tell us a little bit about what you do for the program. That's awesome. And Aaron, talk about your organization here. Love it, love it. So kind of the hands and feet and everything that's in there, trying to get all the work done as folks are now. This is working off community service hours, or what's the tie in there? And okay, got it. Okay, awesome. All right, Sarah, give us kind of let's start with a 30,000-foot view of the Chipper program. Maybe a little bit of how it got started, what it's for, and how folks can start to take advantage of that. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting ready for fire season. Just because it's been a wetter winter, and we're going to have some rain coming up probably tomorrow. Probably never too early to get this started. Is there an optimal time to get this started? Is it only available seasonally? When can folks start to take advantage of the program? Okay. Okay. Yeah, kind of the defensible space. We want to make sure that we're kind of keeping it a little bit away from the house. Now, Aaron, how long have you guys been involved with the program? When did that start? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's funny when we were talking before we went on the air. You said that you came up to this big old pile, and you said it's going to take hours to get this done, and you were just amazed how quickly it turned around. No kidding. Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Now, Sarah, I was thinking like, hey, this is we're not trimming the trees. We're not coming in here. We're not actually taking all the branches down. It's just the homeowner or the property owner is getting it to the curbside for you guys to then come and take care of it. Is that right? That's fantastic. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the cost now. There is a cost to it, but there are also ways that you help folks out, right? Okay. That's awesome. All right, we're talking to Sarah from the Placer County Chipper Program, also Aaron from Placer County Probation. We're going to take a break, show some commercials here to show some love to our sponsors. We'll be back right after this.
I've joined the KAHI radio team. Each weekday morning from 9 to noon, I'm live on KAHI. We tackle issues like cholesterol, diabetes, women's health, children, geriatrics, relationships, and more. And with all that's going on in Washington, we even touch on governmental policies impacting your health. The Dr. Dahlia Show is also a live call-in medical talk show that answers your questions on the air. Join me, Dr. Dahlia, Monday through Friday from 9 to noon here on FM 104.5 and AM 950 KAHI, the voice of the foothills.
Do you know of a senior
awesome.
friend or family member going through a difficult time? Perhaps you know of a senior that could use a burst of joy, or a senior that needs help overcoming a conflict they are facing. Silver Wishes of Placer County may be able to help. Silver Wishes grants wishes to help seniors overcome a challenge, help break up the monotony of a chronic illness, bring joy to those suffering from loneliness, or fulfill a bucket list item for someone facing a terminal diagnosis. Wish recipients must be residents of Placer County and at least 65 years old. For more information and to nominate a senior for a wish, go to www.silverwishes.org. That's www.silverwishes.org. Silver Wishes, impacting our seniors one wish at a time.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay.
Listen to the Garden Goddesses Saturday morning at 8 a.m. here on the Voice of the Foothills.
If you want to be kept in the plant know, join us on our radio show. The Garden Goddesses, Saturday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. on the one and only KAHI Radio, AM 950, FM 104.5, the voice of the foothills. Call in to win a prize from Green Acres Nursery and Supply.
It's time to spruce up your home for spring and summer.
Don't miss this week's home sales Save the Tax event at Naturewood Home Furnishings.
Now's the time to choose from Sacramento's best selection of brand, styles, and prices.
Then save the sales tax on all living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, home office, and so much more. It's all about choices and always about quality at Naturewood.
Hurry, the home sale ends soon.
Naturewood, you know, the building with the water wheel. Tell them Brooklyn Nova and Orion sent you.
And 7 minutes to the top of the hour, 7:53 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, Voice of the Foothills. Gang, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Sarah from the Placer County Chipper Program and bonus Aaron from the Placer County Probation Office. Hey, you guys, we were just talking stats during the break. Let's talk a little bit of stats and what you guys have actually done. This is actually incredible. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, now, Sarah, I'm assuming I just can't just take anything out to the curb and say, will it chip? It's not like a YouTube program. Can I throw a blender in there and will it chip? There's probably some requirements that we have to go there on what can be chipped. What does that look like? Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, weather conditions, is it have to be, is it all rain or shine? What does it look like if I've got them scheduled and all of a sudden it's raining? What does that look like for weather conditions? Okay. 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 Yeah, for sure. Okay, and what's the area is it all of Placer County? Is it certain parts? What areas do you guys cover? Okay, got it. Now, this is some serious equipment. Aaron, you were talking about some of the advantages of this, of how big this equipment is. Maybe not everybody can get this type of equipment to take care of this in an efficient manner. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And that's actually a really good point. So let's talk about the pricing again, and it is affordable, and also just maybe an opportunity to donate to this awesome program. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great service. Now, talk to me again. How big are the crews? Should I make plans? Do I need to have lemonade available for everybody as they're out there doing the? Mm, mm. That's awesome. Now, tell me a little bit about. I'm sure there's a noise there. It's probably a pretty loud process. Do we need to like warn the neighbors ahead of time? What does that look like? Okay. Okay. Well, that's yeah. I love that. Talking to Sarah with the Placer County Chipper Program, also Aaron from Placer County Probation. We're going to take a break. We're going to show some love to some more of our advertisers. We'll be back right after this.
In the heating and air conditioning business, the state of California
KAHI Radio.
has regulations, but surprisingly, almost nothing when it comes to the
Yeah, can you hang on for just a second? I'll get you on the other side of the hour here, and we'll have you ask it to him live. Awesome. And who's this? Tom? Awesome. Thanks, Tom. I'm going to put you on hold. We'll have you on with him in just a bit. All right. Thanks. All right. This is exciting. We have a call. All right. Uh-oh.
Save $2,500 on a brand new heating and air system plus an additional $500 rebate. Replace your old R22 system. Details at 916-378-6270 or BigMountainAir.com.
Petunias or marigolds, fruit trees or shade trees, patio furniture, pottery. Some choices are fun to make, and choosing the best garden center is one of them. Stop into Green Acres Nursery and Supply today. You'll dig our great prices and better quality. Plant blueberries as an attractive evergreen shrub with healthy, tasty fruit, 2-gallon size, starting at $22.50 on Hawkeye. Green Acres Nursery and Supply. I dig greenacres.com. Do you?
FM 104.5, K283CM, Auburn, and AM 950, KAHI, Auburn.
And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is right smack dab at the top of the hour, 8 a.m. here at FM 104.5, AM 950 KAHI, voice of the foothills. If you're just joining us, we got Sarah in from the Placer County Chipper Program, also Aaron in from Placer County Probation. Hey, you guys, we've got Tom on the line that has a question. Okay to take a question here? All right, Tom, you're on. What's your question? Yeah, thanks, Tom. Yeah, really great question. Thanks, Tom, for calling in. Any other questions? Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, thanks for that information there. So, yeah, and again, it's 5 feet away from the house. Is that right? Do you guys offer any sort of guide of what to do with the mulch, or is there anything that they can see on the website, like ideas for like those are really great ideas, but like, hey, I've got all of this mulch now. Maybe I can move it around, shuffle it around, just as long as it's not 5 feet within the house, like garden, anything else that folks are doing with it. What else would they do with mulch? Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be a really great. I work in the SaaS industry, software as a service. It's a product idea. We're like, hey, product idea. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and finish up here now. Just give us again the information, how to get a hold of you guys, the services, the contact, all that good stuff for us. I love it. Love it. Anything else, Aaron, to add? I love that you guys are, involved. I super appreciate you guys coming in, sharing the time here. Now, sir, if maybe the website, is there a phone number that they can call to, or is it all done on the website? Okay. chipper@placerrcd.org. That is fantastic. Thanks you two so much for coming in, hanging out for a little bit. We're going to go to commercial. We'll be back right after this.
You'd never buy your kid candy from your checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean your face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Catch Sinatra and Friends, Saturdays and Sundays, right here on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI. Join Frank and his friends, Sammy, Dean, Tony Bennett, and more, performing songs from the Great American Songbook. Sinatra and Friends Weekends, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishing on Folsom Boulevard in Rancho Cordova. Right here on the Voice of the Foothills, 104.5 FM, AM 950, and streaming all over the world at KAHI.com.
And 4 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:04 a.m. Hey, coming up in our next segment here, we're going to have Mary Jane. Mary Jane Pop is going to join in. Also, we've got Lacey J. Dalton. Have you heard of Lacey J. Dalton? She is a country music star. She has worked with the likes of, I don't know, you may have heard of these guys, Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, George Jones. Yeah, maybe some folks in the country music industry that you've heard of. They're going to be on here. We're going to talk about that. Talk about Mary Jane Show. By the way, if you didn't know, Mary Jane is back on the air. You can hear her Saturday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. And if you missed that one, she's on again from 9 to 11 p.m. on Sunday. And of course, you can hear her anytime at KAHI.com. KAHI.com. You can stream the audio on demand there. Also, keeping you up to date on the situation up in Colfax. Placer County Sheriff's officer was shot in critical but stable condition right now. Placer County Sheriff keeping updates on that on their Facebook page. So if you want to go there and check that out, basically there was a shooting at the McDonald's parking lot overnight. They were trying to approach a suspect in the van. One of the officers was shot and is in critical but stable condition. We'll keep you up to date on that developing news as it develops here on KAHI. We're going to head back now to America's First News. When we come back in our next segment, I'll have Mary Jane on. We're going to have our weekly day talking about her show, and also Lacey J. Dalton. Back with more right after this. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. So let's have you in again. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. No, that's fantastic.
Quick overview.
Okay.
Tried fire program would be a cool one.
Okay, that's good. Okay, and I want to have you back again. Maybe back in the fall. We'll do it again. We'll just kind of make this a regular thing as we can. So, okay, yes, because it's so good and like people are super interested in when Andrew was coming in. We were talking all about this. Because people just don't know. Like it's like it's there. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys, like especially in our area. Yeah, and it's all done. Right. Well, and the fact that it goes back on and you can use it, like it's actually usable stuff. No place in America. Awesome. I've got to learn how to do a conference call, you guys. So I haven't done it before. So thank you, sir. All right, we'll see you guys later. All right, see you guys later.
It's simply wrong. There's no place for racism in America. It's all wrong.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna do that. So I just had some folks in the studio here. I'm just saying goodbye to them.
In America, we respect.
So I just running around with a chicken like my head. All right, so I'm gonna put you on hold.
But it doesn't mean anything goes.
By focusing on law and order messaging while defending the right to free speech, Biden is looking for middle ground in the middle of his re-election campaign.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab him real quick. I'm on the other phone. I'm gonna change
political as he tries to downplay right-wing violence.
The right is not the problem, despite what law enforcement likes to say. The FBI director said that he worries about the right. But don't worry about the right. The right's fine. Worry about the left, because this is a movement from the left. These are radical left lunatics.
Okay.
And they got to be settled down. It's going to go on, and it's going to get worse and worse. And And, they take over countries.
I am in.
We're not letting them take over the USA. We're not letting the radical left.
Okay, so if I put you on hold, we'll bring you back
take
up
over this
to the
country.
studio.
You can't let that happen.
Okay, it's called January 2021 rioters, unbelievable patriots, and he talked openly about the prospect of issuing pardons if he wins a second term. Several times this week, he wondered if protesters who vandalized the university buildings would be treated the same way as supporters.
Okay, so Mary Jane, I'm not on the phone that is the on-air phone. I'm on the phone next to it. Is that the right one?
The second week of testimony in Donald Trump's hush.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
After jurors heard a potentially crucial.
Got it. Okay.
A recording of Trump and Michael Cohen discussing a plan
To put him on the air. Okay. Yeah. What I was trying to don't do that one unless you put him on the air. So, okay. Gotcha.
Trump said he's very happy about the way things
Got
are
it.
going, but he declined to weigh in on testimony that took much of the day from Stormy Daniels.
Okay, let me swap here real quick. I'm going to put you back on hold. I'm going to get on that left one. Okay, I got you on this one. Oh. Yeah, I'm hearing that. Okay, got it. Okay. Got it. Okay, I'll do that. I'll call you back.
As a presidential candidate, the leading candidate, the Republican Party nominee, and the one who's leading Biden by a lot, I'm not allowed to talk. There's never been any abuse like this before. This conflicted judge when to get out of this case. He should not be having this case. He gives us nothing. There's such a rigged court. So I'm not allowed to testify because of the unconstitutional gag order. We're appealing the gag order.
Okay, I got you.
Let's see what happens. Thank you very much.
Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
On the left phone.
Stories that appeared to his 2016 campaign.
Okay, I will.
Nation's chief
Okay.
warned on the eve of World Press Freedom Day that the media is under attack in every corner of the world, urging all nations to stop the targeting of journalists. Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke as Reporters Without Borders reported political attacks on press freedom have significantly intensified in the past year.
I'm shocked and appalled by the high number of journalists killed in Israeli military operations in Gaza.
Yep, I got you.
Recognizes the invaluable work of journalists and media professionals.
Okay.
To ensure that the public
So when we talk, put me up.
Without facts, we cannot fight
Got it.
disinformation.
And then hit conference again. And still, okay, got it. Okay, I'm going to hit conference, and then I'll give her a call.
Without press freedom, we won't have any freedom. The free press is not a choice, but a necessity. Our World Press Freedom Day is very important. And so I call on governments, the private sector, and civil society to join us in reaffirming our commitment to safeguarding press freedom and the rights of journalists and media professionals around the world.
44 journalists have been killed for covering environment stories over the past 15 years, according to a separate.
Hi, is this Lacey?
Which organizes today's World Press Freedom.
No, you're good. This is Chris from KAHI. How are you?
With the Federal Reserve delaying cuts to interest rates.
Well, I am super excited for this. I've got Mary Jane. I've never done a conference call on the station phones before, so I'm kind of learning this. So I'm gonna be putting you here on conference. I think I'm gonna do that, and then we'll all be on hold here, and then we're gonna kick off here in about 2 minutes. We'll go on the air, and we're just gonna have a fun little conversation. All right, thanks, Lacey. All right, I'm gonna put you on conference here, and then we'll be off and running.
Inflation proves more persistent
Uh-huh.
than expected, where the labor market remains strong, but inflation is moving sideways, and we're not gaining greater confidence. Well, that would be a case.
Okay, can you both hear me now? Are you both hearing me?
Hold off on rate cuts. I think there's also other passive impacts,
Perfect.
which would cause us to rate cuts. So those would be.
We did it. Okay, now Mary Jane, I can put the receiver back on the phone, right? And it's still good, or okay. I'm sorry. Which button is it again? The hold button. Sorry, there's like a leaf blower going on right outside. The absolute wrong time.
We found GetCCL.com. GetCCL.com gave us the help we need to apply.
Yeah, on the board.
That's recognized in over half of the country. GetCCL.com simplifies the process to apply, and it's all online. We used their free qualification.
Oh, I just pressed the line, whatever line they're flashing on.
Thanks to reciprocity laws between states, when you're issued a New Hampshire concealed carry permit, you can legally carry in any state that recognizes your New Hampshire permit. It only takes minutes to apply, so don't wait. Exercise your rights today.
It's the one that it's called ITCM.
Have peace of mind. Apply today. Go to getccl.com.
It's on the phone.
Getccl.com. Go to getccl.com. Exercise your rights today. Go to.
Oh yeah. It's on. Yeah. On that right there. Yeah, it's on. Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, sounds good. I got it. Okay. And good Friday morning to you. It is Friday, May 3rd, and it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:14 a.m. here at FM 104.5 AM 950 KAHI, voice of the Foothills. Gang, we are in for a treat here. We've got Mary Jane Pop on the line. I'm a little flustered here. She's been talking me through. Mary Jane, are you there? Please, Lord above, tell me that you're there. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have. I can. Yeah. Holy smokes. Well, you know what, Mary Jane, I love that. I not to get too political here or anything, but all the protests that are going on in the college campuses, and you've got one side on this side and one side on the other side, and I said, man, what I would just really love to see is just one person from one side come over to the other side, and they kind of just meet in the middle, and let's just have a conversation, right? Let's just all try and seek to understand. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Lacey, thanks for joining in. So, and I gotta say, yeah, thanks for bearing with me in my rookiness of getting everybody on the conference call. You were very gracious. Yeah. Oh yeah. And Mary Jane, it's always your fault too. Like, what? Mary Jane said. Oh my gosh. Hey Lacey, give us. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Jane. Go ahead. Mhm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. 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 I'm in. I'm in. I love that. Lacey, take me through a little bit. Where does your inspiration come from? After so many years, are you still inspired to write, or you're like, I've said all that I had to say, and I'm good for right now? Talk to me a little bit about the inspiration. Mm. Mm, mm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
I think you remember this, a Mad magazine years ago had this very, very funny graphic. It was the Earth, and there were two tones. One was black, one was white. And in the air were two missiles, one black and one white. And they were crossing in the air for the black tone. The white missile was headed for the black tone, and the black missile was headed for the white tone. And I've never forgotten that graphic because that's how it is.
Mm. Mm. Lacey, mm. Lacey, I'm super. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I wanted to hear about that.
How did you think of you were really kind of back in the whole idea of the wild horses and so because yeah, I still do. I still think that just lately we wrote a letter to Wyoming and Montana, the legislatures there, saying, how about getting the Bureau of Land Management a great big chunk of land not too far from Yellowstone Park and do a fabulous wild horse sanctuary interpretive center where people could go and interact non-invasively with these animals, and the animals could actually earn their keep. Not that they haven't already by building a civilization on their back, but the fact is they could actually create jobs out there. People take people out on photographic safaris and horseback rides and so on, and interact with these animals because everybody. I live up where we have 3 herds. We're probably the largest herd of wild horses in the country on private land, and they're about. They've always been 2,500. They tell me there are 3,000 now. We're using a American Air Force campaign is using PCP, which is a birth control thing that is compassionate. You can give it to the animal for 6 consecutive years, and you have to stop and let them have a baby if you want them to continue to be fertile. And they're controlling the size of the herd size. And we need to do that kind of thing. If we want to have these beautiful animals that are just stunning to watch for our children and our children's children, we need to provide a place for them where they're not in conflict, with all the other people who have interest in the land use, like mining and, development of all kinds. They need to have their own place now, and they can earn their own, and we can control that herd control, and we can have another fabulous ecotourism experience. And it doesn't have to just be near Yellowstone. We thought that might be a good place to be at 33 million visitors a year there. And to go to the Wild Horse Sanctuary one day would be a wonderful thing to add to that experience. People from all over the world, they come to California, Nevada, and all that area because they think it's the Wild Wild West. Well, don't the Wild Wild West with wild horses. But that's exactly our dream. Unfortunately, even though we have more wild horses in this state, there are about 33,000 horses still out on the range in the whole country. And Nevada has about half of them. And we almost years ago, about 12 or 14 years ago, we had a bill written in on the end of it was poured on the end of a bill for Afghanistan. So it must have been maybe more like 20. But we actually had talked to BLM about getting us land not too far from Reno, in the Pine Nut area along the Carson River. And we had a couple of the senators at that time were backing us.
Like to be a passenger.
Center and get it done. And
Making sure my mic's off. Just listening. It's fine. It's good. It's a different feeling. It's really weird. But
we didn't get it done then.
Mary Jane is she is the ranking officer here. I follow your lead. 40 years in the industry. I love that. I love that. Mary Jane, looking forward to it. As always love what you're doing. Love that you're back, by the way, and all these interesting conversations that we're having. And Lacey, I don't know if you know, Mary Jane and I, we just have a Friday date. This is our date just to catch up and talk about what's coming up this weekend. And we appreciate you coming in and talking all about that. We got to run to show some love to our advertisers. Mary Jane Pop, Lacey J. Dalton going to be performing at Sutter Creek this weekend. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right. Thank you both, ladies. We'll talk to you next week. Mary Jane, I'll talk to you next week. Lacey, in the music industry, do they say break a leg, or is that just go out there and have a great show? Okay. Got it. All right. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye, ladies. We'll talk to you. And we'll be back right after this. Thank you, ladies, both. I appreciate it. A lot of fun. Hey, have a great show this weekend, Lacey. Mary Jane, looking forward to talking to you next week. Yeah, that was really great. All right. Bye-bye.
You can see them at night. Secondly, they steal from you. Any device with a digital display on light or sleep mode steals energy. They may only steal a little bit, but like drops of water in a bucket, it adds up and you pay. Stop energy theft. Turn off printers and computers when not in use. Use a power strip for charging and turn the strip off when done. Stop energy thieves and save. Brought to you by Pioneer Community Energy.
33 minutes past the top of the hour, 8:33 a.m. Gang, that is going to do it for me today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Until we see each other bright and early Monday morning, remember, as always, to be kind, be honest, be yourself. And remember, you can't hate somebody if you're hugging them. Have a great weekend. Back to America's First News. I'll see you back here Monday morning.
New York City officials said Thursday 32 of the 112 arrested at Columbia University Tuesday during the police crackdown on pro-Palestinian protests were not affiliated with the school. Mayor Eric Adams blamed unidentified outside agitators for escalating the protest. A contention has been disputed by student organizers. President Joe Biden broke the silence on the protest Thursday, denouncing violence and intimidation.
We've all seen images, and they put to the test two fundamental American principles. The first is the right to free speech, and for people to peacefully assemble and make their voices heard.
Just calling Mary Jane.
Is the rule of law. Both must be upheld. There are not.
Would you believe it's me, Mary Jane? Woohoo! And I want to talk with you. So leave a message, and I'll catch you on the rebound.
Hey, Mary Jane, it's Chris. Hey, I just sorry for the hassle there. Thanks for talking me through the conference call. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Well, I know now. I got it. So I appreciate your patience there with me as getting it going there. And thanks for bringing Lacey, having her on. What a fantastic conversation. Really appreciate it. Hope we did okay. Hope we navigated the lanes there okay. Sorry if I talked over you a couple times, but really great interview. And wanted to thank you for setting that all up and getting it ready to go and teaching me yet another thing that I've learned how to operate the equipment here at our lovely station. So anyway, hope you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
It's against the law. Vandalism, trespassing, breaking windows, shutting down campus, forcing the campus.
Okay. Woo! It's a busy day. All right, chipper program. There we go. What's that information Sarah gave me? Okay. Bye.